back to a review with me from Let's Talk Whisky. We're staying with Tomatin. There's a trilogy in the new sherry collection. This is a Palo Cortado, the second in the series, Manzanilla, Palo Cortado, and the Pedro Jimenez. This guy here, I've got it in the glass just now. This is a 2008 15-year-old. Limited edition as well in the sherry collection, which has just been brought out. I'll put a link to the video I just done with Scott Adamson, the global brand ambassador, a blender as well for Tomatin, and we had a fantastic talk about the 3 releases. And this one for me is very different. This isn't something we see all the time. Palo Cortado is a very different style of cask, happy accent and so forth as well, but we'll get into that. This is Tomatin. Tomatin's a Highland distillery just south of Inverness, about 20 minutes north of the A9, just past the cut-off if you're going to go to Speyside. Continue straight on up the A9, you're on your left-hand side, and you'll find Tomatin Distillery, one of the biggest distilleries in the 60s and 70s. They've been through nearly liquidation, but still to this day surviving, producing in the 60s and 70s about 12 million litres, the largest producing distillery in Scotland. Now, 2.1 million litres. Not about quantity, it's all about quality. 1897, been founded probably a little bit before from illicit distilling and so forth. It's a great reggae distillery. As we say, it's not the prettiest to look at, they always say, but the most warm welcome you'll ever receive at distillery, still to this day that I've been to and what I've got. This is a 46% non-chill filtered natural colour. Beautiful bottle. Palo Cortado finish. So let's try and speak about Palo Cortado. This has been finished for three and a half years, I think it is. Prior to that, it's had its full life in refill butts as well. So you're sitting there about 11 and a half, 12 years sitting in refill, picking up those nice underlying notes of the kind of softer white fruits, those softer bourbon notes, and then having that finish. And as we look at this bottle, I'll use a bottle for this. This isn't your see-through, you can see through this still, there's still going to be some flavour and things there. This isn't super dark, super rich. Palo Cortado, I don't see much of it. Again, hard to find a cask of that style. It's you really can't make it happen in this day and age. You can slightly manipulate it. But for this to happen in a natural format, I've had to write some of this stuff down to get it right. Palo Cortado is a sherry. It starts off as a fino under a layer of yeast called flor. What then happens for this, most will stay that way and it'll just continue on. But this, then, the flor degrades and dies. So when that degrades and dies, it starts taking a slightly different avenue and the way it starts. So every time, the way that whiskey will become is going to be completely different from what you usually see in different sherry casks from the flor and how that's degraded and died. It starts to oxidise like an Oloroso or a Amontillado. That's just the way it will go. And then from there, it's the magic kind of happens. I think I've tried one other Palo Cortado, and I think it was the Old Perth, and I loved it. Absolutely magic. So for me to only compare this to something else, that's all I've got to compare it to, but this has got age to it. This is 15 years old, 2008. Palo Cortado, then, wine is fortified to 17%. Most previous ones, other sherries, we fortified at 13 to 15, but Palo Cortado becomes 17%. What happens in the bodegas is the master blender, master distiller who looks after everything will go around and look at these casks. When it's going to be just a sherry, there's one line struck on it, a chalk line. And these are going to be good casks, the majority of them have these on it. But when he goes round, he can see that the flor has died and it's starting to oxidise. What he then does is puts a cross through it. So there's this a genuine cross on the cask, which literally means cut stick. This is when all the magic is going to happen, and this is a super, super rare to how it does. It's just all casks react different. You could fill 2 casks side by side, and in 10 years' time, they will be different to some degree. Even if it's the same wood, they'll react completely different. The ABV won't drop down the same. Each time, they'll just react different, and that's the amazing thing about this. The mad or the most outrageous thing for me is 3% of grapes become Palo Cortado. 3%. There's another 97% doing the thing that they're supposed to do, but this magical happy accident, 3% of grapes become Palo Cortado. It's hard to force it, but yes, you can manipulate it now. So we've now got this product here. We've now got this whiskey, a finish, a 3.5 year finish in Palo Cortado casks. These things that are just so hard to find that everyone wants. All distilleries really want these casks, and I can see why. When I done this with Scott the other night, if you go back and say the link will be there, and I'll try and timestamp it to when we talk about the Palo Cortado. It's phenomenal. I could listen to it all day. But enough about that and me waffling on and giving a good 6 out of 10 rendition of what Palo Cortado is. But as I say, when we go back in the link, Scott will tell you a lot better than myself. So let's look at this first. Legs on it, they're still there, 46%, taking their time to come down. Hopefully you can just see that there. Oily from it. That's why I love 46%. Non-chill filter, natural colour. Colour of it as well, it's amber, it's copper, it's just got a slight tinge to it. It's a wonderful little colour. So on the nose, let's go for the nose. Let's get this in the palate. Let's start getting excited. On the nose, there is a soft copper. There's toffee. There's this coffee note as well that I get. Toffee, coffee. There's a chocolate note in behind there. There is your softer raisin note. It's not like your traditional sherry where you get big raisin notes and those softer kind of red fruits. It's a great nose, and it's so hard for me to say, oh, I know exactly what this is like because I'm not exposed to it enough, Palo Cortado. But I love that nose. Softer toffees. Again, it's just that coffee, like premium coffee, milky coffee, maybe. Chocolate note as well. ABV, it doesn't hurt, it doesn't offend. I say that quite a lot, but it doesn't. It's soft, it's neutral. Let's get this on the palate. Let's see the first gram in over a week. So let's see how we get on. Slange everyone. It grips. That toffee stays there. Little bits of spice. Chewy. Nutty. The kind of coffee note disappears slightly. The underlying notes of the refill cask, so the softer white notes, that melon, that little bit of grape, it's not your ripe fruits, not your lemons and limes. It's softer, it's sweeter fruits. This isn't sweet in the sense that it is what you maybe think sherry is. This doesn't have that, whoa, super sweet medicinal. It lasts on the palate, and I said this the other night, this is one you could sit down and chat and then go back to. This could take you a good while to finish. You're not chasing flavour. I love the nose. It's just that kind of soft copper. It's like being in a distillery and looking at the stills. The toffee, a little bit of raisin. Soft ginger. Slightly dry. I really like this. It's so different in a good way. I love everything about it. I love the bottle. I love the branding on it. There's etching on the back. It's just kind of got everything that I like, and that nose is great. It's one I don't think it's going to last very long, to be honest. It just hits that softer bourbon side of notes to that the PC, the Palo Cortado finished. It's it's longevity. I thought I'll pour myself a big dram and I'll finish it on here, but I'm not going to be able to do that. It's just I don't need to keep chasing that flavour. There's a freshness, there's a soft kind of eucalyptus mint in there as well. I think this is wonderful for me. I really like it. It's the first one, the Monteado. No, sorry, the Manzanilla. I loved. On to this, the Palo Cortado. What is next we're going to have in store with the PX? As I say, I will put a link to the video last week when I done live with Scott. You'll be able to see when we talk through this, and I think my tasting notes may have slightly changed as well. Again, that's from revisiting the bottle. But I need to go back. I need to go and just sit and explore this now, since I've got a little bit more time, and just see what else is going on in this dram. It's wonderful. So pour yourself a dram. If you're watching this video, thank you very much. Thanks for subscribing, and thanks for liking and just being there and watching me talk about whiskey. And if you've got time, pour yourself another one. Always drinking responsibly, and watch the video in the link below. But as always, join me next week. Let's talk whiskey. Slange.